in map number 3, because you think back to map number 1 where they got 33.25 points alone. So if they're sitting somewhere at 78.25, that's a lot of points, which means they've probably already gotten rid of their mulligan. But looks like map number 4 is here, and what better way to kick it off to see the landing strats of where FIFA Kill, Aydan, and Soka are kind of going to send that map 4 start off. They've got to be feeling good, and I mean, look, it's the Shamrock Showdown. They want to get a pot of that gold.
Yeah, $25,000, $9,000 for first. Yeah, sure, I'll grab a pot of that gold as well. I'm excited for this trio. I think they've got a good shot to win this. Again, I'll read verbatim what FIFA told me. His morning stream, he was dancing around, he was playing with Maven. I asked him what his keys to success were, and he said, here we go, we're gonna see it right now. Start well, guns off, rip. Mid game is rotation, stay alive, rotate well. In game, small tweaks, nothing massive, going for top 3. There you go, boom. We're seeing the start well, grab loot, grab your guns, and then they're gonna get involved pretty quickly before they set up for the in game and their mid game. So so far so good, and I think what you said actually right before this was crucial to remind everybody. 6 total maps, but one of those maps does not count, and with their first map being a 33-point game, their third map being a 38-point game, and I believe their second map being an 8-point game, in all reality they're sitting at an average of scoreable points around average of 35 or so between their best 2 games. They're dropping their lowest score, which is that 8. So if they can keep up that consistency, they're going to be literally untouchable.
Yeah, and I think that's where they need to kind of keep in line. I'm looking at kind of the scores, and as they trickle in, I'm sure this will get updated. So unofficially, you've got Team Fuzzin, 45.5 points, Team Noobs, 43.4, Team Joewo, 42, tied with Team Goat Clamp, and Savvy Ultras rounding out 6th place with 40.5. Sure, Robstar already finding himself in the gulag against Shaded Step, but the battle is on for that top 3, and the battle is not there for Robstar. You can hear him say that that's just ping. Sometimes that happens. You can see that we are playing, I believe, on North American host in US Central, if I'm not mistaken. But FIFA, they've already started off that aggression. You see, they've already picked up at least 1 or 2 elims, and now kind of reassessing, reshielding, and just carrying forward.
This is what they want. Early aggressive comms, 1 down below, and a car coming from behind. FIFA risks it and pays off. Grabs 1, doesn't get splattered. Another one flying back on him. This is a contested POI, and they're going to just get full benefits of this. I mean, think about this, Tiff. Like, if they grab 4 or 5 eliminations in the early game, you can only assume they're going to pick up 4 or 5 later. I mean, a 9-kill game with a 1.5 multiplier plus is going to be enough for them to kind of coast towards the end of this tournament. In the past, though, they've been averaging like 19 kill, actually literally 19 kill games in their first map and their third map. I mean, that is a lot of eliminations. They can't really slow down if they're going to continue to match that pace.
About slowing down, Moonride, your winners of map number 2. Talk about vibes as well. Incredibly hyped. Alas, they only won with 4 eliminations, but Mutex has found himself in the gulag against Nate. Gonna take that victory, so we need to see that happen. Timmy Toucans on your screen. So a lot of players working, trying to get gear from buy stations, runaway statue. This team fully alive. Yeah, get your plates.
I love me some Timmy Toucans, man. This dude is non-stop good vibes. A very solid player, might I add. You know, certainly not from the kind of long-term perspective, a competitive, focused player, but fantastic content creator. Some of the best vibes I've ever seen. And has a bit of trouble driving, and is going to be able to repair some tires though to get this thing right back onto the roads. And
the thing was shredded, man.
Of all people that should be able to drive some vehicles, this man's content is driving vehicles. So hopefully they can get the show on the road.
Wait, he's doing it too? He's doing it too?
Okay.
Similar to Josh?
The Deagle.
All right.
Also, good for the heady. We've seen what Swagg can do on headies. Yeah, slow pace. Nobody else playing the heady, but with cracked armor. Like playing somewhat patient.
Little cat and mouse.
Uh-oh.
Maybe whack-a-mole? Maybe whack-a-mole?
I like the patience there from Swagg. That's what I was talking about. A player like me who's maybe a bit too bloodthirsty for their own good, I'm pushing that fight immediately. But Swagg stayed patient. Knew he could win it if he continued to stay patient, because we were eventually going to have to move for the flag, and wins the cat and mouse game.
Ooh, Robstar on your screen. Looks like they got Nate back up after maybe a gulag that went a little sour. They have a bounty out on Breadman, which means they are too in Al Mazrah City. They are kind of encountering them just a little bit closer, and you want to make sure that you take this fight with ease. You know that this team is very much ready to be hunted. Nate gonna grab it down onto Skullface, but gets instantly dropped by Mutex. Finished by Joewo. So there are two teams in this vicinity aside from Robstar on your screen.
Yeah, you can only assume it's at least two as well, right? You're in Al Mazrah City. There's got to be a lot of other teams ratting out, and usually shots being fired and bodies falling is the signal flare for everyone to collapse and win it. And this is a crucial moment to talk about too. Is like strongholds are very, very strong. Black sites incredibly strong, and it seems like some of these teams are going for that, for the extra equipment bonuses and features that you can gain from that. I mean, it's a very smart move. You're kind of signaling everyone around that we're over here, but hey, come and get a taste. Mutex is going to shoot you down as fast as possible.
I think that was something that Breadman was kind of talking about. He's like, when the strongholds come up, you don't know when you're approaching a team if they have their loadout, if they've already got some substantial loot from a stronghold. And that makes things tough. You have to be able to assess that in the real time. Scum and getting rezzed by the teammates. Unrational are going to go down as well. So Rated is still kind of up and at him. They're out of utility. Scumman has no more plates after this. Unrational able to get back up, still able to have that self-res, but they are inside this building and having a little bit of trouble. But speaking of trouble, FIFA kill in the gulag against Clutch Belk right now.
This is going to be a tough fight. Clutch is a prolific Warzone competitor, very strong player. FIFA kill, of course, in first. So Clutch would love to get the better of FIFA here, but FIFA currently has the advantage, certainly with plates. Grabbing almost a crack, finds it and finishes it. That's the play you got to make. Force the player to come out into the open, and FIFA hardly misses a shot, comes back in with ease.
I'm trying to shoot, I'm shooting it.
Oh!
Those are AI, but
dude, I'm telling you, the AIs are so tough, bro. We were talking about this over in the DMZ tournament the other day. Like, some of these are S-tier bots, and I don't think there's any audio on them. It's just so unfortunate that they can take out literally anyone with these. We're just gonna ignore the fact it happens to all of us.
I gotta give the AI credit. He's thirsted. Like, Mutex goes down, he turns and pops him in the head. That was comedy. I don't know why that got me so bad, but you gotta remember they're doing a black site here, so these are advanced AI. They're stronger. They do a little bit more damage. It's a little bit harder to wipe, but you can certainly get some increased rewards. Not only like weapon blueprints and things like that, but you can also grab what you can see on your screen. This massive UAV that's going to give you so much information in Al Mazrah City. Definitely worth doing. Just the issue comes is that not only are you giving a signal flare to everybody else in the lobby that you're doing it, but there's also a ton of really strong AI, and unfortunately Mutex will fall to said AI.
No one saw it. Just ignore that you guys saw that. Like, think of Men in Black, think of the mind eraser. I am now currently erasing all of your chat's mind right now. You did not see that happen, okay?
They had cash. They just wanted to burn some of their cash, Tiff. That's what they were doing.
It's all tactical strats here. He wanted to get a little bit of a budget UAV from this guy. But on board with Jesus. Goat Clamp on your screen as well. 22 squads remaining. No elims for Jesus just yet, but keeping into a fact that there are some teams nearby. Smixy v flanked in the gulag, man. What a interesting matchup, but you can see... Yeah, that's tough, man. That is tough.
Well, it's a fun conversation point too. We've seen a lot of gulags today, of course. We love showcasing the 1v1s. That's the whole fun part about customs, and this is what I love about them. Like, you finally get to a point where you're not just playing against pubs players, where your gulag win percentage might be, 85 to 90% win rate. You're now playing against some of the best Warzone players there are. And so your win percentage, maybe for the top of the line players in this lobby that are really good at 1v1s, might be like 60% or maybe a touch higher. But otherwise, it's a 50-50, right? And you got to play really tactical, and some of the strategies you usually use to win your gulags might not work this time around. And that's what makes these so fun, is getting to watch kind of some of the rivalries come into play. Maybe rivalries be born depending on how teams interact, and some of the best Warzone competition going up against each other is a blast. Good patience, lets them dolphin dive out into the open, and just barely finally grabs the knock. Took him a little while, but able to grab the knock and do quite a bit of damage against potentially some opponents. They are on a stronghold, so you're going to see some AI wandering about. If they look lost, most likely it's gonna be some AI, but
Nah, it's actually just me. No lie. Gonna get peppered from afar, forced to lay down here behind this little bit of cover that Jesus can find. Good repositioning here, trying to get a different angle, maybe a head peek, but this is tough, right? GoClamp already making the way to the building, gonna get tagged up. It doesn't seem like he's able to kind of find a good positioning around this. Now down to at least 3 shields.
Yeah. I heard the circus.
They say they hear the staircase, Coach. They hear
I was about to start whispering too.
Yeah, it's like strategic time here.
Yeah, I mean, ADS walking here to get a little bit better audio, so you can figure out where they are. The stairs, man. These stairwells like this remind me of Verdansk downtown. So many fights on those types of stairwells.
Ooh.
Gonna creep up, and we'll see what they're able to do in a bit. TBE, one of our other squads to watch, of course, because of their prolific history in Warzone competitions. They've been doing fairly well today, according to our updated leaderboard. By the way, if you want to go check out the leaderboard, exclamation point leaderboard, you can pull up that link for yourself. Scroll down to the bottom. You'll see individual scores as well as team scores. Currently, FIFA Kill Squad at the very top by a sizable margin, but Team Fuzzin, who certainly I predicted to be near the top as well, in second, just barely over the team that was just on your screen a second ago. There's TBE in third at 43.4. It's Oki Squad, then Joewo inside the top 5 with GoClamp just outside of that. But Face Doozy, Colors, Juju, trying to find some pathway forward here on the edge of zone. It's a decent spot to hold, but you're fairly out in the open, so you kind of, as much as you wish you could just kind of hang out where Doozy's at, you could for a little while, but you will have to rotate in, so it's a little bit of a question mark on whether or not you want to extend a touch and risk being held yourselves, but grab some self-reses and get ready for whatever's next.
Yeah, at first I thought, you know, Z Colors was looking to try and dabble with that buy station, but you have to be genuinely like right in front of the buy station to be able to interact it. As soon as he was trying to hug that corner, he was already getting peppered from a team that was on the outskirts. You have to be very weary. That buy station is specifically in the middle of so many vantage points and makes it kind of atrocious to get to, but someone taking that ultimate high ground on Z Colors, trying to reposition, but kind of throw, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not sure if he got stuck there.
Skull. Yeah, the mantle just looked slower than you needed to, but great overwatch there. Looks like that will go to the side of Doozy's team. Colors grabs the elim. I think it goes his way. That's 2 eliminations for him, and great overwatch by his team. That's great team play in order to make sure your boy can get out alive, especially when you've got all the resources that they currently have. Had just picked up some self-reses across the board, which allowed Colors to get right back into the mix without risking a life. Skull goes down, which means we're going to be seeing probably Joewo soon, but we're going to swing over to the Gulag. This is a big one. This is Echo versus Chrissy. Talked about both these teams a lot, and this isn't technically make or break, but love to relieve your pressure on your teammate as he goes for the kill, and Ego chows it. Just can't quite find the elimination.
Never ego chow Echo. That is one thing I have learned. You know, I told you I've competed with him prior. I've seen his growth throughout all the Twitter tourneys and just the journey. And it was a very close one. And if anyone's going to be able to do it, Chrissy, just an absolute menace when it comes to one of the female Warzone competitors. And she competes in a lot of those co-eds, especially with Destroy. But they've had a lot of success. I mean, a top 3 finish recently. I mean, she just had an absolute disgusting play when it was just her and Limex down in the end zone, utilizing those smokes, a really clutch revive. And now we're just jumping on board with Fuzzin. Currently second place, barely holding on to it, 45.5 points unofficially on the leaderboard. If you want to check that out, exclamation point leaderboard in the chat. But good positioning here over at Hydroelectric. The buy station's just across kind of the water behind them. But typically here in the houses, you'll find a lot of people rotating through. So I love this, just holding out on one of the balconies. It's really tough to like kind of navigate and make sure that you're checking all angles when you come through this area, right? There's a lot of different places to look and get visually cluttered quickly.
Oh, absolutely. And that's a team to watch not only because of their leaderboard presence in second, but also 2 players inside the top 10 overall earned at Al Mazrah. Have plenty of experience. Rob and Nate, Sean J have been playing great today, to be honest with you, especially for a team. I know this was kind of a team that got thrown into the mix at the last second, and been doing great for probably not a lot of prep, not a lot of playing together as a trio in preparation for this tournament, where some of the other teams had the opportunity to do that. And Jay was really excited to be able to hop in the last second and make it into the event. Tears it up in these custom tourneys. Oh, that's the person. Okay.
Hey, yo, Jace, what are you doing, my man?
Wow.
Like,
Yeah,
foreign
that's not-
Jace, like,
It should be.
I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
one of the most adaptable Warzone competitive players that I've seen. You know, you can put him on any team and he'll find a way to work around you. But I'm not sure if he was looking at his map or something. Well, I'm going to give it to him. That's a mulligan. That shouldn't have happened.
Sure.
You're not going to get Jace again like that. And I've ran into Jace in Twitch Rivals. He's absolutely destroyed my team. But Robstar, this is what I'm talking about. This is the punishment that you're going to get from grabbing it. AB Wiz able to pick up the knock onto Robstar, but able to get the self-res off, throws the smoke, and kind of does the 5Ds of dodgeball. You got to get out of there and start the regain. Picks up a bag for that, though.
Yeah, I was going to say, we'll give it a benefit of the doubt. That was just a bait. They put foreign Jace out there as a little fishing bait. They started reeling him in. Wiz went for it. Couldn't quite net the fish, though. And not only is that not, you know, just a free kill with foreign Jace, that's a team inside the top 5. Oki's squad, Oki, Wiz, and foreign Jace, of course, playing together. They're currently in 4th with 42.25 points. So that's a team you want to wipe, and you want to wipe soon. As we start nearing the mid game, setting up for the end, still have 20 squads left alive. You got to get some of the teams out that are near the top of this leaderboard and open it up for the rest of these squads.
Well, if that's the case, you got to keep an eye on Team FIFA Kill because they have just been working on extending their lead throughout this. But Jesus going under fire on the rooftop warfare, drops down through the little hole in the ceiling and just keeps on backing up, repositioning and healing as he goes back. Able to grab an armor box right there as well for the... Keep that in mind. Plenty of resources, but does not want to give the advantage up. He's already lost height. The reach out comes in. He's able to grab the knock. That's going to be on Intex. What a magnificent way. Throw those lethals. Make sure you get your full. Able to grab crack onto another. So this is going to give Go Clamp and Jesus the thing. But here's the deal. You have to get up onto that roof. You don't have a PA to be able to finish that. You're not going to get there in time. They're going to hit a reset.
That's why PAs, that's why those precision airstrikes are so incredibly valuable to clean up kills. That was a fantastic take, and I gotta give you know, Jay-Z's credit here, Tiff, because went for the smoke to bait the lookout because he knew he could hit those headshots and take down one of those players from up on high ground to allow himself to rotate across. If he throws the smoke to rotate, it's not going to help. They have high ground. He throws the smoke, it baits them to look over to try to grab their free kill, and he grabs the knock that then gives him the rotate. Talk about an experienced player that knows how to play the game. Very, very well done. We'll see if it pays off in the long run. We see flank squad unfortunately go down. That would be Nadia on his squad, being eliminated in 19th place. Here's the team that just got knocked. They've got resources coming out of their ears, Tiff. We're looking at almost 60k or 50k total money. And there's that knock. Here are the grenades. So a little bit of peek back in time. Let's believe that lost his plates. But they should be fine. And we do know they're not going to get pushed here, so they should be chilling.
I mean, I love seeing it. You know, sometimes you'll have stream delays on, so you can kind of go back, and then we get to see it from another POVs, because of one POV will look like they're absolutely decimating, and then you come to the other one, it's like they had the upper hand the entire time. Robstar able to grab a nade onto Skullface, not necessarily going to leave high ground just yet, but an incoming PA is going to force him to reposition, which is great, but you need to throw that PA down, especially if you're on Team Skullface, to try and get that reset and deny them the ability to push and capitalize on a knock.
Weak.
Great shots here from Rob.
Smoking a buy.
Fully locked in. 4 total eliminations. Skullface down. That means Joe and Red should be around the corner somewhere.
Play together. Let's get to him. One just brought back.
Love that. Play together.
Yeah, he said play together. He also said we should probably leave.
Play together and leave while we're doing it. So let's just vacate the premises, but they are getting peppered from afar. They've already lost one. This is what happens when you kind of poke the bear. It's not what you want to do. And hey, Sean J fully eliminated. So now they are down to a 2. They have the cash to hit the res, but the buy station is behind them.
Yeah, I don't know if you go for this buy. I'm going to be honest. There's too many teams nearby, and that's why you need a clear IGL. Well, that's a freebie up top, and this is Honey Mustard. There's Bread. We're looking for Joe. Where is he at?
Bro, Bradman, what were you doing? Wrong place, wrong time. And unfortunately, Robstar was sitting there with an SMG, just not ready for it, but had that upper hand. You know, Bradman earlier on stream was talking about the SMGs and how he doesn't think about the hipfire on them, but the hipfire on the Lockman absolutely slaps. And well, he just kind of saw it firsthand, but able to get the buyback on Sean J. Welcome back to Al Mazrah. Able to get another elimination to the tally 4 currently.
Yeah, this is the nature of being a team that got thrown together last second, I think, is that they just don't have a clear IGL, and they're doing well. To be honest, now all 3 are up and they're good to go, but they lost Sean J in that moment, had to burn some resources because they didn't say, hey, we need to go. Now we move. You follow me. I said what we're doing. We got to go. It was, hey, we should probably go. And then they kind of lingered around and waited and tried to figure out what to do next. If you've got that clear IGL that's going to be directing you and moving you along the map, it might get out of there scot-free. It turns out it doesn't matter too much as they've made it to the zone. Decent high ground position on the edge. And found an elimination on a bread that was caught unaware, but still something to keep an eye out for. We'll see what they're able to do here as we near the end game. Finally, as the gulag begins to close, there's shots down across on the hill next door, but you can play patient here. No reason to push yet. Zone hasn't closed.
There's a gas mask here for you, Sean.
Nice. Good gas mask there. Comes. Sean, come get this. She doesn't have any shields just yet. They are on, yeah, they are on the outskirts too. I think I just saw 10 elims for this team, so an absolute banger of a map here in number 4. Now you have to think of how do we get to the end game and how do we win? 14 squads, 34 people remaining. And they have a massive journey ahead of them. A lot of our maps thus far today have kind of been ending in open POIs, just really tough to navigate. I think I just saw the sliver of a head on that man, and Robstar able to take a couple shots that are going to connect.
I'm dropping down. Yeah, it's on her. It's on her. She's
Comms in from production. We believe that is Jesus's team on the other rooftop. Yeah, let's check in with them. Goat Clamp. They are a duo.
I have to move.
Yeah, you wanna play that building?
Yeah, I mean, we kind of have to rotate, yeah.
Playing slow. Wanted to kind of listen in to see what they're talking about. I like the take here. Try to catch them caught unaware. They know you're there, but if you play more patient, maybe we could play aggressive. I'll mind it. For a pick. And the edge grabs a knock. Oh, there's one flanking though around the corner. Jesus is gonna lose his life most likely. A couple of grenades should finish him up. Nope. Sneak out. Nice little tree.
Bro, best tree ever. Best tree ever for cover. Let me just tell you. You hit a little shrubbery in a vehicle and you can't get past it, but that tree was thick. And I'm just like so impressed by the ability to kind of get a reset. And you can see the Goat Clamp able to get the res off as well, but did see that player moving straight towards Goat Clamp, so trying to close the distance and get there, but just not going to be able to do it. That's going to be Nate.
That's tough. I don't know what you could do there, and that's you know, if I had 20 minutes between games and a whiteboard with the map on it that I could draw over, I'd maybe try to break down some rotates there, because they're playing reactionary Warzone. It's what they kind of had to do with the amount of teams on the edge of zone where they were at. They didn't have time to really set up. They could have maybe rotated much earlier, but just really couldn't get anything going there. Was just having to react, and they did a good job of reacting, but not going to be enough to carry them into the final circle as we near the final end of map number 4. Tiff, I mean, we're down to the final 9 squads now, so multipliers in play. Seeing a familiar team on our screen right now. They're not too terribly far down this leaderboard. I think currently sitting in 8th place, so a big game for them, especially if FIFA Kill Squad and some of the other teams ahead of them are done and dusted. But player advantage is a huge boon. Oh, this rotation, though, is going to be very, very tough, especially when obviously somebody knows they're there, dropping mortars on their head, so that the team that knows they're there can rotate in. And, well, spotted out in the open. Good shot. Cleans him up. No place for IQ means that's a free kill.
I really love this. Clearing out their left side as they make their way into that next zone. They want to make sure people aren't going to mirror them on rotations. Robstar in the bathroom. Gonna finally make the leave on this building. Sean J going down to believe. The team is nearby, able to grab some nice shots and a crack at it down. Just needs to double down. 5 bullets left in the chamber for the Hemlock, but forced to reassess now. No more gas mask available. Was hoping that they could pick one up off the ground, and it's just not gonna be enough. Gonna get tagged up, punished from taking that elim once you give away your position. But back on to Blade and Co. Still making their way into the ring. Strikes coming in their way, and just dolphin diving with smoke for their life.
Gotta give a hand to Robstar for the way he played his life. He did everything he could, unfortunately, without the resources at the very end, and all by yourself. It's gonna be a tough game, but still, decent amount of kills. I think they had 11 or 12 overall at the end of it, and got inside the top 10, so a big game for them. But team on your screen in position to potentially win this thing, but don't get the best zone pull in the world, but they can probably make it to this cover. Now, it's gonna be probably contested. some of the other squads, there's still 6 squads available, and this is probably the highest player count we've seen at 6 squads at 14. So you're looking at an average of over 2 players per squad. Another trio on your screen right now. Otterize, Mayapo, Iceman Isaac. They desperately need this win. They've had a tough tournament thus far and would love a sizable amount of points here, especially when Mayapo's sitting on 7. This could rival the best game of the day if they can grab that 2 times multiplier, Tiff.
They're gonna have to get through Blade and Savvy Ultras. Before that, they have a building on the outskirts, and as these teams start to rotate into that next zone, they are going to essentially be filtered straight into Blade, and they will be buffing their elim numbers. Currently sitting on 6 for Blade, playing it smart, calm, collected, gonna get tagged up by the nade, a little nade spam, but have no fear, able to reset just a little bit. Vortex gonna go down though. They're not gonna be able to withstand.
And that's Shifty on the other side. This is the team in second. Shifty, Sage, Fuzzin, looking for a few more eliminations. Looks like Echo's involved too. So, Smixy squad involved. And that's going to be, I believe, Sage. So 2 teams fighting this squad. We've lost Savvy. We've lost Blade. There's 1 more alive. And on the other side, a full team of 3 still available. That is a huge, huge loss on the other side for the trio on your screen. This just propped up this trio to win this map with theoretical ease. Now,
Ooh.
bit too soon to tell, but great shots through the smoke there from Mayapo without being able to see too much. Able to tag him up. They play slow. They've got enough eliminations here. They want the 2x multiplier, and they want it bad. We're into the top 5, Tiff. Multipliers coming in play in strides, but 2x, it means a lot right now.
Getting tagged up. Otterize was able to grab a knock on to believe, but Sage doubling down and taking Mayapo out. So Otterize and Iceman Isaac at this point need to play their life. Echo, last man standing for Team Smixy, still inside cover, doesn't have too far to go, and if plays it patience and rides out with the ring, but someone was in this building, a little bit of hip fire action. Vortex gonna go down. I told you, Echo has that clutch factor, and he is going to be able to do it. Play it smooth. 3 ticks left on that gas mask. Be smart. 9 eliminations for the squad or just Echo alone.
That's nuts. I
That's
think they're
disgusting.
on 15. I think they're on 15. It was 9, 4, and 3. Yep.
16.
16. Sorry. Wow.
I'm just messing with you, Goj. At this point, I'm fact checking your math. Nah, man, nah.
That's amazing.
I could have been wrong.
No, you're right. It's 16. It said it at the bottom. 9, 4, and 3 is definitely 16. That's a big, big game. We're inside the top 5. We're getting a little bit of peek behind the curtain as we look back a little bit, back to 6 teams total. Intex and Believe last two alive for this trio.
Guys, it might pull towards you. It might pull towards you.
Ooh.
Yeah, good counts. I mean, they would have to wait it out a while, though. Yeah, it won't, but they don't know that. Blade, wait. No, this is Shifty. Taking a look at Shifty. This is the team in second place. We jump forward. I know we're having to jump all over the place, and Shifty wins it. The 1v2 comes out on top. No plates. What a crazy replay. If we could see it from Mutek's perspective, I would love to back up and see what Shifty was able to do there. I love production so much. This is going to be Intex. We're going to get a peek behind the curtain and see what happened with Shifty and then also what happened with Intex from this perspective. A nutty game from the team in second place. A great shout from Intex, but not able to do it. Yeah, solid game from the trio. That's 10 plus multiplier. We'll see if we can still see it again. I would love to see this final fight.
Oh, here you go. This is where we lose that on Sage, and then Shifty goes on.
Yep.
We're just filtering through POVs, loading, waiting for it to happen, because at what point, you know, Mutex and Co, they went out in 4th. Now cutting on over to Shifty once again.
Sure.
Oh, so clean, honestly. Just perfectly executed. Grabs the knock onto 1, starts firing into the vehicle, immediately throws out smokes.
I like it. Going for the life ping, trying to catch him in the smoke.
I literally saw all 3 of them. That's just their rotation then.
Shifty playing nice and slow here. We know he wins, but how does he do it? Has plates, but isn't willing to put him in because he doesn't want to get caught, not able to fire. Finds one in the smoke. There's the win. Looks for the second, throws another smoke to give him cover on the rotate. A 5-head play. The player has the advantage on plates, but not the advantage on skill. Wins the 1v1v1. Oh, the other player got the self-res off too. A nutty play from Shifty. Shout out the kid. Do put it on everybody on main stage. I'm blown away by that play. I wish we could have saw it from his perspective, but maybe Shifty needs to throw that clip on the timeline. I'll go retweet it for you, buddy. That was gross, and a huge win for the team in second place. That is going to close the gap on Team FIFA Kill to probably about a 3-point game.